I goddamned love me some Dungeons and Dragons. Can I get some more of that hot monk archetype creation goodness?
Why, yes, sexy computer lady, you absolutely can. Oh my. Let's bookmark that for later. For no reason. Get your minds out of the gutter. So, quick footnote here. These videos, the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. Hello, internet. By the way, my name is Beltheria. I am Beltheria. These videos were initially put up with incredibly bad production methods on purpose as a goof for April Fool's Day, but I enjoyed doing them so much that I'm going to keep doing them in a somewhat different format. And I'll feel it out as I go along. They'll start out pretty much the same as they were on April Fool's Day 2017, but I'll endeavor to make them a little more watchable. I have contacted customer support at Wizards of the Coast for a specific answer because I can't quite figure out whether or not I'm allowed to just show you the PDF of the systems reference document for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition in the video. I've got some formatting set up for that, but we'll get to that when the time comes. For now, let's work on the next archetype for the monk. I think that's a fun place to go, because I've been kicking around ideas, and I know sort of where I'm going with it. Scratchy throat. Oh god. Thought I took care of that. But I didn't. So, until then, it's gonna be the same view as before. And until I can get some actual physical audio equipment, this is the sound quality that we're gonna be getting. I'm doing the best with what I can, I'm tweaking with it, but whatever. Preamble over. Only took 2.5 minutes. Let's see about... Come see about me. No. Let's see about getting this show on the road, yes? Now, last time we worked on our physical... What did I call it? The physical journey, and I haven't finished my formatting for that, but my first pass of the abilities, not playtested, is written down. And once I get that all, once I get this all formatted, I'm gonna present it to my players, and we're gonna start screwing about with it. Also, feel free to take any information that you've seen and futz around with it yourself, and post in the comments below what's going on with that. Including recommendations for names, because some of them are obviously placeholders, and others are kind of silly. But let's get started on the hidden way. Oh dear. Oh me, oh my. So, we have our 17th level ability on lockdown of that. As I remember, it's what, 3rd, 6th, and 11th? Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to copy and paste from my resource, my off-panel resource, off-video resource, and we will start looking up what's what. Now if I go and okay. And we're going to delete a bunch of this stuff because we don't actually need it. Yay! Huzzah for on-the-fly formatting, right? So we're just doing this so that we know what our levels are when we're working with these, so that right off the bat I can say, hey, buddy, quit with that. Now, as I was saying, in the last times that we were doing this, we pushed Quivering Palm from a physical attack to a more ninja-y, assassin, you know, five-fingered death strike sort of thing. We haven't changed any of its features, which I don't think we need to, but basically we've moved it from that archetype to our own custom archetype. Since it's in the SRD, that doesn't seem to be a problem. For the purposes of these videos, I'm working from the SRD. And for the purpose of my campaign, these are going to be the class archetypes, not stuff from the main handbook. Or even from the SRD. The sample from the SRD is not going to be part of my campaign. Okay. So we got a bunch of placeholders. And we have the Hidden Way. What is the Hidden Way? The Hidden Way is stealthy, ninja-y, assassin-type cool stuff. As for what that means for anything else, I don't really know. I have some ideas of abilities, but I don't have an idea for the first ability. So we will cycle around to that. Because what I'm thinking here... No, I did have something for first. It was like a Shadow Strike ability. Yeah. Yeah, that was when it was going to be. Shadom. And we're going to call this Shadow Blade because we're edgy and cool. And we definitely didn't watch or read too much Naruto back in the high school days. So what this is going to be is that you can choose to make an attack at disadvantage, and if you hit, you can basically the shadow of the blade, the shadow of whatever attack you're dealing, hits as well, and deals just weapon damage, not like plus your abilities for it, in necrotic damage. I don't know how powerful this ability is. It doesn't feel very powerful. And I think I'm going to make it cost 1 key to activate, because it's just going to be... I might not even make it a bonus action to activate. I think it might just be attack. When you take an attack action, spend 1 key to make your attacks do this effect. Which I'm kind of envisioning like a Shadow of Mordor, like Elven Lord sort of slashing alongside of you, if you're familiar with that game. That's what I'm envisioning. At least that's what I'm saying, so that I don't show my true colors. You may spend 1 key point. Yome. You may spend 1 key point. Shroud your attacks in deadly shadows. Do-ba-dee-da-da-da-dee. Shroud your attacks in deadly shadows isn't entirely accurate. Alright, there we go. That seems like good wording for me. Nice fluff. Starting when you choose this tradition at 3rd level, you may spend 1 key point to make an attack action to hide deadly shadows in the wake of your attacks. Little bit of a run-on sentence. But, you know, we can clean that up in post. Also, we have more to say. Now, there's 2 ways to go about this. I can have it be that you make your attacks at disadvantage, and if you hit, no, that's... The original concept for this is that even if you miss with an attack, you have a chance of hitting with a shadow of the weapon without ability scores, without ability modifiers. Basically just the weapon damage. And that feels a lot better, but I don't know how to make that not complicated. Because streamlining is important. I mean, the initial concept is that you, like if you miss with the attack, you spend a key point to make another attack roll at disadvantage to deal the shadow strike. And that's okay, but ultimately very costly, especially at low levels, for not a lot of gain. And I'm not really feeling that. I kind of like my idea of... Okay, has this. So, I'm gonna lay some funky, fresh figures on you here. Make an attack at disadvantage. Next is if both hit, you deal the extra necrotic. And if it's just one, then it deals only the shadow. I don't know how much this ability would be used. Mainly because, on paper, it kind of sounds like it sucks. Like a lot. It sounds pretty terrible. And I don't really know how to make it not terrible. Unless, at a later level, it improves in some manner. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of split the middle on this. And I'm going to I'm going to make it so that, why did I get rid of that? We're going to have it be that for the duration of that period, you spend a key point and you go into this mode. Basically, you get all shadowy. And when you miss, you may make an attack with the same weapon. And bonuses. Well, same weapon. But you do it at disadvantage. And if you hit with that, then you deal the weapon's damage die. No ability modifier, so just the weapon damage. And necrotic damage. That still doesn't seem great, does it? Basically, it's a way of... It's a safety net, so that when you make an attack, if you miss, you will have a slimmer, admittedly, chance of hitting with a weaker attack. And that seems okay, considering it's one key when you take the action to go into that mode. And it's for all attacks until the next turn. In fact, it seems like a really cheap but crappier version of like some of the higher level stuff that I made for the physical path. And you get it right away. I'm going to commit to this. Because I think it's pretty rad. Alright, until the beginning of your next round, when you miss with a weapon attack, you may make another attack roll with the same weapon at disadvantage or with disadvantage. With disadvantage. If this attack hits, it deals the it deals necrotic damage equal to necrotic equal weapon. the weapons, damage, add ability modifiers. Boom! Nailed it! That didn't take terribly long, generally speaking. And we're gonna rename it too, because I thought of a less dumb name. Not dumb name, just a less dumb name. Hit my tongue. Ow. Yeah, that's alright. Not great, but it's alright. Turns you into a real whirling fury of shadowy doom. At the very least, it doesn't scale well into the late sort of game. But I think early on it's nice catch-all. Now, 6th level, that's where things are gonna get weird. Or, not weird. I have this one sort of typed out in my head a little bit. And it involves spend key, take Necrod Orb, technically Shadow Orb. Let's be accurate. Shadow Orb. And this Shadow Orb will stick around for number of rounds equal to your Wisdom modifier. So you, as an action, as a full action, you spend key to do this thing. Whoop! How much key? I don't know. We'll get there. But what you can do with this is you can either, first of all, you can throw it with a range of let's say 60 feet. So you can then attack with it at 60 feet. So if you hit somebody with it, it will deal, let's say, 6th level. I mean, that's around when you get a fireball, right? And if I check my SRD for spells, if I look for ye old fireball, Yerbole. Obviously, we don't want to do as much as a fireball. It is single target. But let's say that it will go ahead and deal probably 5d8. Yeah. On hit, deals 5d8 necrotic. Not the worst, not the best. It's fine. Then you will choose whether it returns to you, so that you can make more attacks with it. In fact, let's go ahead and turn this into a bonus action. Why not? Bonus action, you spend the key, you make the shadow orb, then you can attack with it, so you can do it all in the same round. It's only got a 60-foot range, but basically, you can choose to have it either return, or so that you can attack again. Throw with a range of 60 feet. On hit, deals 5d8 necrotic damage to a single target. Target. Single target. Or you can detonate it. In order to do a darkness effect. Darkness. Imprisoning me, all that I see. Absolute horror. Something about living and dying. I don't know. Darkness. Imprisoning me, all that I see. Absolute horror. But it's gonna be bigger. It's gonna be bigger than a normal darkness. So, I'm going to create magical darkness. In a 60-foot radius. This is incorrect. What did I even... Oh, 60-foot radius. For a number of rounds equal to twice the remaining So if you throw it and detonate it right away, you can get a longer darkness effect, or you can get or you can just get more attacks with this basically shadow yo-yo. I think that's okay. It seems fun at least. And it'll feed in quite well to the next ability that comes down the line. Yeah! Dungeons and Dragons! That's the way, I like it. So let's try to figure out the language for this, huh? Alright. So at 6th level, Alright, you learn how to harness shadows on a deeper level. It's a little generic, but meh. Oh, goodness. We'll come back to that. Fluff aside. That is incorrect, though. Gotta deal with that right now. As a bonus action, you can spend your key. We'll cycle around to that as well. Key points. We'll come back around to an exact number once I've thought of one. Or I've had time to examine it. Learn to harness shadows on a deeper level as a bonus action. You can spend key points to create a darkness. Create an orb of darkness that can be used. Let's cut out the fluff, in fact. Boop. At 6th level, as a bonus action, you can spend key points to create an orb of darkness that can be used to attack or sorry, dry throat. Had to cough. Hopefully that didn't come over the microphone. I tried to turn away as fast as I could. Attack or what word do we want to use for that? We'll come back to that as well. Don't want to spend too much time on the wording. In fact, you know what? I've got the internet. I've got the sources. Synonyms for disguise. Yes, of course, that's a very simple word and is why I didn't think of it. Conceal. I'm an idiot. I'm a smart man. In fact, I had thought of it, and I forgot about it halfway through typing the sentence. Because that's the way the cookie crumbles. And that's the way the news goes. Wubba lubba dub dub. You may attack with this orb as a ranged spell attack. That deals 5d8 necrotic damage. Damage. Against a target within 60 feet of you. I need to work the duration of this into it somehow. Which acquitted number agreements are going to happen. That does not fix the number agreement. But I don't care. Hmm. Orb remains for a number of rounds equal to your wisdom score modifier. Wisdom modifier. In fact, let me go ahead and check out some SRD wording in order to make sure that I'm formatting that correct right now and don't have to come back later. Where are the classes? Yeah, that's fine. Alright. As at 6th level, as a bonus action, you can spend key points to create an orb of darkness that can be used to attack or conceal. The orb remains for a number of rounds equal to your wisdom modifier. You may attack with this orb as a ranged spell attack that deals 5d8 necrotic damage to a target within a 60-foot range of you. That's a little wordy, but I don't care anymore. Also, it seems to have dealt with that pesky number agreement nonsense. Despite the fact that it's still a number agreement. I don't know. Damn, Microsoft Word. Get your E's together, huh? Alright. Now, we have our damage. Now to describe what happens when it hits. So, when you hit with the orb, you may choose to have it either turn your hand, use the next round, or have it detonate to a cloud of magic darkness. Magical darkness. In a 60-foot radius from the target location. If you choose to detonate... Sorry for the prolonged silence there. Had to cough again. If you choose to detonate the orb, its remaining duration immediately ends. No, how do I put this so that it doesn't sound goddamned insane? Okay. Let's just go ahead and move this to another paragraph so that it's less busy, basically. And read this over. As a bonus action, you can spend key points to create an orb of darkness that can be used to attack or conceal. The orb remains for a number of rounds equal to your wisdom modifier. You may attack with this orb as a ranged spell that deals 5d8 necrotic damage to a target within a 60-foot range of you. When you hit with the orb, you may choose to have it either return to your hand for use the next round, or have it detonate into a cloud of magical darkness in a 60-foot radius from the target location for a number of rounds equal to twice the remaining rounds of the orb. It's clunky, but I can work on the wording later. I think that gets the gist of it down. Now there's just a matter of getting A, a name, and B, well, I guess A, the key point value, and B, the name. Now, if we go ahead and look at Quivering Palm is an ability that a 17th level monk could use to heal. If you're just looking at the damage it can deal and not the straight up kill effect, every other round you are able to deal 10d10 necrotic damage. Which is a fair amount. This is a lesser amount. It also makes you sort of focus on getting your wisdom up a little bit higher in order to get the full usage out of it. But I think that's okay. At 6th level, you have 6 key. 6th level, 6 key, that's fine. If we made it 3, you could potentially get, let's say, for the sake of argument, that you have a 16 wisdom modifier. 16, 17. You have a plus 3 wisdom modifier from a 16 score. So you have 3 rounds to play around with this orb. So you get 3 attacks with it, basically. So you can go pop, 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 and then have it explode into darkness for basically 2 rounds. That's how I'm choosing to add up the math. I bit my tongue again. Ow. Technically, I suppose that means you get 4 rounds out of it. I don't know. But in fact, let's go ahead and say minimum 1 round. That way, even if you choose to use it on that last round where it has a 0 duration left, you get at least 1 round to play around with the ability. Seems pretty okay to me. And it creates a very powerful darkness, because a normal darkness is what, 15 feet, 20 feet radius? It's not terribly big. This is massive. This blankets a massive area of darkness. How well that ends up working for you, is up to you as a player. Or as a DM. Evil laugh. Yeah, I'm okay with that. For now. We're gonna say that we're gonna say 3. It's expensive, but it's gonna be worth it. Because, beginning at 11th level, you learn harness, learn tutu? No. You learn to harness, you learn to harness shadows on a deeper level. This is going to provide several benefits, mostly passive. Okay? So, for starters, you gain dark vision, actual dark vision, which in my world is important. Because I have removed straight up dark vision from all races. It's now something that you have to work into. And I'm bringing back the older concept that magical darkness obscures vision like natural vision. If you have magical dark vision, then you can see through it. Guess what this is gonna count for? In fact, let me go ahead and check my wording in the SRD again. If I go to races, I check out those races. Doobie-dee-da-ba-doo. You can see in dim light within 60 feet of you as if it were bright light, and in darkness as if it were dim light. It is only going to be in shades of gray. Oh, don't do that. Come on. Come on. Be a cool guy. In fact, I think I may just cut the whole magical darkness thing. Let me just look up the darkness spell, because traditionally, magic, uh, doesn't like, dark vision. Dark vision doesn't get along with magical darkness. Hmm. Okay, no, it totally does. It still has that where magical darkness obscures natural dark vision. Blaven. Okay, there we go. But that's not all. That's not an 11th level ability. It kind of is, but it's not quite there yet. I had a few things that I wanted to do with this. Oh goodness, scratchy throat. One of which is that when moving in darkness, in fact, I don't think I have to specify whether it's that it has to be both magical or natural. Just darkness. When moving in darkness, you may through other creatures' spaces. Oh god, that's not how you spell that. Oh, my brain just exploded on itself. Without penalty, or and so when moving in darkness, you may move through other creatures' spaces, even hostile ones, at full speed, and you do not provoke opportunity attacks. For your movement. From your movement. Which is all pretty powerful, but it's also dependent on being in darkness, which 6th level gives you the ability to just plop some down. Lets you move around the area. It doesn't make you incorporeal, but it does basically reduce your mass to the point where you don't get targeted very well. And you can slip through thinner spaces. It's not quite fog cloud, but it's also, useful for macroscopic purposes. Sure. Never did quite figure out how the old apostrophe S goes. If I'm being entirely truthful. S apostrophe. But this is the ability that I wanted to really, really kick out. Furthermore, when you exit an area of magical darkness, oh, it's just a deleted word. Okay. I don't know why I typed that twice. An area of magical darkness, you may spend 1 key point become invisible. Or for a number of rounds equal to your wisdom modifier. That's pretty powerful. Overall, I think that's a lot of passive to get crammed down your throat. Generally speaking, I think that's pretty okay. It synergizes with the previous ability quite well, I feel anyway, and then it allows you to sort of go from, and you can only use the invisibility thing from magical darkness. Yeah, that's pretty okay. It lets you basically get out of an area in a panic button, you throw down the darkness, and you just run. And then finally, Quivering Palm, because, come on, it's Quivering Palm. Pretty okay, right? Like, damage-wise, it doesn't really stack up to the 6th level ability, but the chance for it to reduce something to 0 hit points is pretty solid. Generally speaking. Now, we're going to try and come up with some names for these real quick. Might even revisit key point cost of this at some point, but 3 feels okay. It doesn't feel great, but it feels okay. We'll just go ahead and call this a haze bomb for now. No, we're not going to call it that. That's a stupid name. We will call you, I don't know. How about we just go back to placeholder for now? Well, we'll call the second one, or technically the third one, the Veil of Shadows. Seems okay to me. And we will go ahead and, I really don't know what to call this. I'm thinking we maybe call it, I mean, that works for now. It's a little poetic. Not very poetic, but a little poetic. We'll call it the Shadow Droplet. I think I might rename the Quivering Palm, just because, I don't know, theming. We'll leave it for now. We'll leave it for now, and I'll come back to it later. But hey, we finished an entire archetype, without spending 4 hours doing it. In fact, we've only spent about an hour 15, little less. But hey, I feel pretty good about this. I mean, I might revisit it at some point, and you'll be there to help me with it. I hope, anyway. Thank you very much for joining me. This has been pretty rad. I like it. Go ahead and comment below. Tell me your feels on this. How you like this. I'm gonna slowly scroll through this so that you can see it here at the end. And get a good view of these abilities. Hopefully, good view of these abilities. And give me your feedback. Because if I'm just here shouting into the wind, that doesn't do any good to anybody. Until then, I've been Beltheria. And you go ahead and you stay classy, yeah? Okay. I don't have the outro slate for this. Bye.